So today's video is on expensive purchases I've made, and I always get nervous about these kind of videos for two reasons. One, expensive is subjective. What I find expensive, you may not, and vice versa. It all depends. Number two, there's always somebody in the comments that thinks, oh, you buy stuff and it makes you cooler? Yeah, right, douche. And that's not the case at all. It's just I feel that sometimes these items are important to invest in and they help you in the long run. And I'm going to explain that today as we go through my list. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, dudes and foxy dudettes. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to hop right into it with the first item on my list, my suit from Indochino, my made-to-measure suit from Indochino. Now, I bought this about 4, maybe 7 years ago. Yeah, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. I spent about $500, a little bit over. I got the full 3-piece suit, and it's one of the best investments I ever made. Every guy needs an amazing suit that fits him flawlessly. Now, off the rack, you can buy a suit off the rack from one of your department stores like JCPenney or Macy's, but you still got to go and get it to the tailor. It's going to cost you a ton of money, first off the rack, then taking it to the tailor, paying the tailor tax, as they say, and it's just going to fit you okay, because it's not made for you. Bespoke, I mean, that's from scratch. That will give you a better fit than made to measure, but I mean, you're spending thousands of dollars. Made to measure is right in the middle. You're going to get an amazing fit, and you're not going to spend that much money. You're not going to spend thousands of dollars, and it'll look better than an off-the-rack suit. Totally worth the money. If you want to see the video that me and my boy Yaya did, you can see that video here, where we talk about our made-to-measure suits. So you can't go wrong with it. That's the first item on my list. I don't regret it. I've got a ton of compliments on this suit every time I wear it. So yes, $500 well spent. So the next item on my list is skincare. Now, some people may not think that this should be on the list, that it may not count. I say it does. Even though it's a consumable, it's something I still pay into. You have to decide, is your skin worth it? I think it is. I think it should be. Now, as you guys know, I am a big fan of thewellroundeddude products. I get the level 3 system. I'm a customer. That's $55 a month, and my skin is important to me. Now, you guys don't realize that, me being 87 and looking this good at 87, there's a cost with it. And, I look at it as an investment into myself to make me look better, make me feel better, have healthy, clear skin. If you're out in the sun, if you're a human being at all, you need to take care of your skin. So it's definitely worth the investment. Now, I'll go above and beyond sometimes with some different products. One of the things that we talked about recently was the retinol stick. This alone is $40. Well, $36, $37, something like that. But I have seen a huge improvement. As a matter of fact, we talked about it recently, like I said, and one of the things I want to point out is that I had a little acne scar. It's faded. It's almost gone since I started using this. So it's definitely worth it. But you have to decide if that's worth it to you. And in my opinion, it should be. Your skin, healthy skin, should be something you invest in. We're going to talk about my overcoats. That's next on the list. Now, I have a bunch of overcoats. I did a video. You can see that video here. But I'm going to specifically talk about my leather overcoat from Calvin Klein. It is my favorite jacket. I spent about $400 on it. I got it like 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, something like that. Totally worth it, in my opinion. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of leather jackets, big fan of overcoats. It's something I've wanted. At the time, I wanted it for years. I was finally able to make that purchase. And the reason why I look at it as an investment is because it's a little bit different. You don't see every guy rocking an overcoat or a leather overcoat. Most of the time, if you see somebody wearing a leather jacket, it's either like a like a biker jacket, a moto style, the bomber jackets. You don't really see overcoats worn that much in the leather variety. So it stands out a little bit. It's, especially for like winter months, it's a little bit different than, the guys that are all wearing puffer jackets. Nothing wrong with puffer jackets, but if you want to stand out a little more, there are certain things that you can buy, and it's one of those statement pieces. I happen to think I think it looks great on me. I've gotten it tailored so it fits me better. It's one of those things that I really enjoy, and I've gotten compliments on it. It's definitely worth investing in something, a statement piece like that. So now we're going to talk about the most expensive item on this list, which is my computer, my personal PC, the one that I built from scratch. I invested about $2,000 into it about 9 years ago. I needed a project in the wintertime. I needed a computer too, and I thought, instead of just buying one, it'd be cool if I built one, if I put it together from scratch. So I watched a couple videos, I got the pieces, saved up, invested in some of the components, and I put together my very own PC. The idea was to have a gaming PC and a media PC kind of all built into one. And that's what I did. Now, I wound up not gaming on it at all, but it's served me well for years, especially once I started this channel and getting into content creation. I mean, this PC has been the hub of everything. I upload my videos through it. I record my podcasts through this PC, which is a good time to mention, the Well-Rounded Dude podcast. Be sure to check it out. Available wherever you get your podcasts. But one of the things I'd like to point out too is that even though it costs a lot of money, it's lasted 9 years. People I know that have gone to big box stores and bought laptops or whatever has bought like 2 or 3 in the 9 years since I built this, and I've had the one computer, and it's still going strong. Is it the fastest, strongest computer, most powerful computer out there? No, definitely not. Again, it's been 9 years. I think I started in like 2015. I decided to build this, and in January of 2015, it was done in August of 2015. So, no, it's definitely not the most powerful thing anymore, but it still holds its own and can still do pretty much anything that modern computers can do today. So I would highly recommend that you look into building your own PC. It'll last you longer. It's definitely worth the money. And if you're curious, I did a 3-part series on how to build your own PC. I built it from scratch, from parts. Not the one that I use personally, but I show you how to build it from scratch, and you can check it out. Okay, so everything on this list I have gotten value out of. Everything that I told you that I have bought myself, I spent, again, I didn't buy this stuff over the course of a month or two, but it's been years. And I spent good money on this, and I've gotten great value. I've gotten a great return of investment. Now, the most expensive thing on this list was the computer at $2,000. This next thing I'm going to tell you about is not the cheapest item on the list, but it's definitely not the most expensive, but I've gotten the most value out of it. And that is my trip to the Menfluential conference back in 2020. So we've talked about my trip to the conference before, but why it's so important, and I bring it up now, is because even though it's not the most expensive item on the list, I gained the most value out of it. The return of investment has just blown my mind when I really thought about it, and really that's kind of what inspired today's video. I spent $700. That's round-trip airfare, that's the bed and breakfast I stayed at, and the ticket to the Menfluential conference. But I gained so much more. I got 2 really good friends, 2 of my best friends, Elliot and Yaya, aka the Turtleneck Squad. It's the 3 of us in there. But I got to meet Aaron Marino, who is a friend now. I have gotten so many opportunities, learned so many skills. You know, when I first went there, I wasn't planning on doing this. I kind of thought about it, but it was just kind of on the back burner. And when I left, I got the encouragement, the idea, the drive to start this YouTube channel, and so much more. I gained skills like video production. I didn't do any of that before 2020. You know, I started a podcast. I never thought of starting a podcast before that. You know, and learning different tricks about that. Photography. I had an interest in photography when I was younger, but nothing that I really pursued. I like to take pictures with disposable cameras, but, you know, now I'm trying to grow in that area of photography and videography and just producing social media content. I've learned so much, made new friends. Because of this, I've made friends with like Jace over at Esteemed Image, Robert at Gent Style. It's just led to a insane amount of possibilities and potential. And that's why I want to impart on you. If you have a chance to go to a conference, to do something that you're passionate about or that you're not sure about, do it. It's well worth the money, the friends that you'll make, the skills that you'll learn, the confidence that you'll build, the lighting that passion, getting that fire going. No amount of money is worth that kind of return of investment. Okay, like the money you spend on it, that fire, you'll thank me later. And not only that, but finding a tribe, finding people that like-minded individuals, there is nothing like that. That is a great feeling. So I really encourage you, if you have an opportunity to do something like that, do it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it. This was really something I felt was really important to say, and I hope the message doesn't get lost in, you know, expensive items that you have to buy to be cool. Like, that's not the point of this. But, you know, inevitably, there's probably somebody that's not going to understand. But it's not coming from a place of bragging or how much you have. I want to stress also that you shouldn't go in debt to get any of this stuff. But these items are important. They've helped me. So I wanted to share that with you. So with that being said, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, do all the social media things. Help me fight the YouTube algorithm. Ring the bell. Be sure to check out thewellroundeddude.com. That's really the hub of what we do. Everything there. You'll find the podcast, the Amazon page, a whole bunch of other things there. Plus our merch, which you can get 15% off of with our code DUDE15. And, you know, like I said, check out our podcast. That's on the website, but you can get it anywhere you hear your podcast, anywhere you like to get them, like Spotify especially. And with that, we will see you next time. And let me know. Maybe next time I'll do a list of the things that I spent money on that weren't worth it. So until next time, guys, take care. Peace.